Alright, my name is James Williams Jr. It is 12:37 in the a.m. So it's technically Monday morning, and I'm about to carry my ass to sleep. But before I do, I want to give you guys my very last video for the night, or the first video, or the second or the third video for actually Monday. Because I started it, it was Sunday, but now it's Monday, so let me finish this. Alright, so you see any of my videos before the long hair, where I'm singing songs like Dying Everyday, or Make 'em licky licky till they sticky sticky sticky. Well, Make 'em licky licky came last, and that's basically a song about perversion. So kids, please don't listen to that. Really, please don't listen to that. You can listen to Dying Everyday and Soul Snatcher or Soul Stealer. I have another song that I'm working on in my head called If I Was as Beautiful in the Eyes of Beautiful Girls. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow at work and see what I come up with. And then I'll post it like the same way I did the other thing, because I'm probably gonna do it on my cell phone. Anyway, I wrote the song "Dying Every Day" because when I got the news that I could die, to have the surgery, I had to have extensive surgery. Right? So by extensive surgery, and my father was alive, and he took it a whole lot worse than I did, because he literally broke down and started crying. We were sitting in McGuire, and McGuire is a main military hospital for everybody in Virginia, in the Charlottesville, Richmond area, unless you go to J. Sargent Reynolds, which is like farther up north, I think. I'm not really sure on that location, but I know that McGuire is smack dead in Richmond somewhere, right off of Hall Street. So we're sitting in McGuire, and he's dropping all this bad news on me. Now, mind you, about a month before that, I had to go to McGuire because I was hurting so bad. And I told them, I said, look, I think I'm having a bleeding ulcer, and I need you guys to check this out because the pain is so intense that I can't sleep, I can't function, I can't get out of bed, and it took me like hell to get there. So the night of my appointment, or the day of my appointment, I had to go down the day before so that my dad could drive me there, because I was in so much pain that I'm doubling over. And I mean, I'm like, if you ever had to take a really, really bad shit, and it seems like you're shitting out like a cinder block, I was in that kind of pain. It's like somebody was pulling a block out of my stomach. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, my knee's killing me from the Army, and all the therapy they did only made the knee worse. So just because they didn't know they weren't treating me right, because somewhere down in Fort Benning, Georgia, somebody dropped the fucking ball. Alright? So clearly I was fucked up, and instead of staying for another 6 months to get a medical discharge, my integrity kicked in, because I didn't think I was in that bad of shape. So I thought, oh, well, I can just go home and go back to work. And that shit was a bad idea. So having all these issues, I'm like, man, let me go down to McGuire and figure out what the hell's going on. So we get down there and we're talking to them, and then months later I had the issue with the gut, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna give you this stuff. So they gave me this crap to make me take a poop and all this other crap, and I crapped out all this stuff to see if I had a bleeding ulcer. And the doctor comes back in there, he says, son, I've got good news and I've got bad news. I said, okay, well, hit me with the bad news first. He's like, well, don't you want to know the good news? I said, hey, look, just give me the bad news. If I'm dying, I need to prepare for it. If I'm not dying, then it's not bad news. So he goes, okay, well, you're not dying, but it's still bad news. So I'm like, okay, well, how bad is the news? Son, you need emergency hip surgery, and you needed it like yesterday. If you don't get this hip surgery, you're going to be deformed, and you're probably never going to walk right ever the fuck again. I said, but what are you talking about? They said that my knee is going to be fine. Son, it's not your knee. We're going to get a specialist to come in here and check you out in a month to make sure that I'm right. But your knee is not the problem. It was never the problem. Your knee was probably the initial because of the impact of the fall, but it's your hip. It's always been your fucking hip, because you're not wired right. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Now, I'm processing everything he says. I said, okay, so what's the good news? The good news is that we have the best surgeons around, and we're going to fix you. So that was the good news. So my father's in the room with him, and my father just, like, tears started rolling out of his eyes. And they're just like he really started bawling down like he was a little girl. So he's like, well, what's wrong with you? He's like, Jimmy, did you not hear what he said? I was like, yeah, I need a new hip. Okay, cool. He's like, no, that's the Army talking. I was like, no, that's just me talking. I need a new hip. Okay. So then we went into detail on the worst news. He said, oh, I have even worse news for you. I was like, okay, so what's worse than I need a new hip? Oh, well, you have to get dental surgery because we looked at your dental records, and though your wisdom teeth are growing in fine or still in fine, you have to remove them because of risk of infection. I'm like, are you kidding me? Can't I just get the damn surgery? He's like, no, son, you got to understand this. If the infection from your mouth gets to your hip, amputation will not be an option when you're on the table. Your ass is going to die. He's like, what? He said, we set you up. You're going to the dentist area right now. They're going to scan everything. They're going to put this thing in your mouth. They're going to put you in a lid vest, and they're going to scan all the way around you. And then in a month, you're going to come back for your MRI, and we want you to have that surgery before you come back for your MRI. Or you're going to have surgery, like your mouth surgery is going to have to be immediately before you have the surgery for your legs. So you're going to have to get all this shit done in this 3-month time period. I said, well, damn, thanks. Can you just put me out back and shoot me? And my dad's still whining. So we go in there. They do what they said with the teeth thing, and they say, yeah, it's worse than we thought. You have one rotted tooth. That thing has to come out. Your other teeth aren't bad, but they have cavities, so they have to come out. You have to get all 3 of your wisdom teeth on this side, or the 2 on this side plus the broken tooth, and you have to get the 2 on this side. They all have to go out, or your ass is you're a dead man. Pure and simple, you're gonna fucking die. So I went back to work. I didn't tell everybody at work all of that. I kind of like summed it up in a small note. It's like, yeah, I gotta have all this surgery or I'm gonna fucking die. And so they're like, well, you don't sound too disappointed about it. I was like, well, I mean, we're all gonna die, so what the fuck? So you're gonna have surgery? Yeah, I'll tell you about that after I figure out how much I have to get up together to go and get this fucking shit done in my mouth. It's like, what? I was like, yeah, if I get an infection, I'm dead. So if I have the surgery with these teeth in my mouth, I'm going to die. Yay. So, all my wisdom teeth had to get cut out. And, the dentist that I was going to, they didn't do that kind of surgery. The people they referred me to didn't take my insurance. And so, this is where the clusterfuck came in. So I had to find a different dentist to take my insurance. And they took my insurance. I had to pay them $700 for the surgery or some shit like that. And so they took out my back teeth. And they took out the rotten tooth. Which I no longer have, but I have this implant to keep my mouth from changing as I get older. Until I can actually get a real live implant, which is like $2,000. Which I don't fucking have. This was $1,000 and some change. So, I got that done, and then they put me under the knife. I know I skipped the story about the MRI, but it's a little long, so I'm not trying to have this all night long. Plus, we're already plus the 8-minute mark. So, I'm laying there, and I'm thinking to myself, that night before the surgery, wasn't supposed to eat anything after midnight, wasn't supposed to drink anything. So, I drank the shit out of some tea, like all day long that day. I drank the fuck out of tea. And then I peed. I had to wash with the special scrubby thingy. First thing in the morning is like when you get up, you need to get up at 5. Your surgery's at 7. And you get up at 5. You need to scrub with this magical sanitation soap. And that thing is like on a it's soap in the middle of a scrub brush. And it's supposed to like spread out or whatever. And that motherfucking shit hurt. That shit, I guess I know what women go through when they exfoliate, and that shit was like that. But it wasn't no damn like scouring pad. But it was worse than a scouring pad. When you're rubbing it all over you, it feels like you're like rubbing sandpaper all up and down your body. So it was like that. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this sucks. I have surgery in 2 hours. I have to go outside in the cold in December. I just took this hellaciously badass bath. And now I'm probably going to catch pneumonia and die. Or the doctor's gonna fuck my leg up and I'm gonna die. But the only thing in my head I could think about was, how many ways am I going to die? Didn't think that I was gonna make it, but the thing was, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid at all. I was like, well, I love my dad. He'll be there. So if I die, at least I know that he'll take care of my wishes and shit. So, never thought that my dad would be gone now. But anyway, before I get emotional, I'm going to have to finish this video. So, I go through the surgery. Before we get into surgery, my dad and I are talking. And we're having fun. I'm helping out some senior citizens and stuff. And I go back and sit down. I'm nervous as fuck. And the lady's like, okay, James. So she comes and gets me. And we're prepping me or whatever. They gave me the, this speech or whatever. And when you wake up, you're going to be fine. Blah, 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 blah. And 13 hours or so or something. And so I'm laying there. I can't remember if they made me get into the hospital gown or if I went in and whatever I went in. I know I had clothes on when I went there. And I guess they made me change. I don't remember. I was on some good shit, I can tell you that. So, I don't do drugs. So I can only say I was on some good shit because I can't remember everything. So, I went in, and the last thing I saw was like these 4 pretty nurses. 3 white ladies and 1 black lady. And they were all wearing purple. So I was like, oh, Stacy would love these uniforms because that's my big sister, and she loves purple. It's her favorite color. So I'm sitting there, I was like, yeah. I'm in here with like 4 female sexy Barneys, which was awesome because I don't like Barney, but these chicks were hot. They were off the fucking chain. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them and I'm making them laugh. I'm talking to my dad and he's fighting back tears and I'm making him laugh. And I'm looking at him. I was like, Dad, don't worry. You're going to see me again. Don't worry. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm not going to fucking die. We're good. And I guess I went in never believing that I could die. I mean, it hit me like before we left the room. But I didn't want my dad to see me cry. So I was like, all right, well, I'm a tough guy. I can play it off. I played the shit off. I wasn't scared. And then eventually, when I got, knocked the fuck out, I wasn't scared. I don't recall dreaming. I didn't go to the astral plane. There was nothing fucking there but goddamn darkness. That's it. Darkness. Wherever my mind went, that's where it went. They not only put me to sleep, but they put my brain to sleep. I was gone. You understand me? So when you see those pictures on Facebook or whatever, in fact, if I can find one, I'll show you. I was fucking gone. I was just I was so far gone it wasn't funny. Where the hell are those pictures? Is it there? No, because that's my dead dad. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. These are the after effect. Yeah, I was fucking gone. I was totally fucking gone. I was out for the fucking count for sure. That was me coming out. That was when I came out. The first thing I said was, let me grab this picture and take this fucking selfie. And yes, my hair looks better short because it's actually straight when it's short. So, I come out of it and my dad's there. And the nurses that were there were not as pretty as the other nurses. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I can't pee. It's like, oh, that's because you have that catheter in there. I was like, oh, so you guys are looking at my little dick. When are you going to take it out? We're going to leave it in for a little while longer. I was like, yeah, well, I feel like I got to pee. Don't worry. You'll pee. You've been peeing just fine in this damn thing. It's like, yeah, but I kind of want to get up. It's like, no, you can't get up. You have to stay here for a couple of more hours before you can get up. And your dad, he's going to have to leave because it's 9 o'clock. I was like, well, goddamn. How long was I out? The surgery started at 7. So why is he leaving? It's only been 2 hours. It's like, son, he's been here all day. And you've been out since 7 o'clock this morning. It is 9 p.m. and visiting hours are over. So he has to go home. And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, what car did we drive here? And it's like, I want to go with my dad. I don't want to stay here. He's like, we're sorry. Your ass is stuck here for a couple of days, buddy. So the next day, we were an hour or two beforehand, or after my dad left, actually. They took the catheter out, or either they took it out the next day. Like I said, I was so out of it, I don't really remember all the details. But eventually, they do take the catheter out, And I was like, can you put me to sleep before you take it out? I was like, nope, you have to take it out of you right now. So they took it out of me, and it hurt. It hurt like a motherfucker. So I have respect for people who have to use catheters, because I know how that shit feels. That shit hurts like a motherfucker. They have to make those things a little bit easier. Swear to God they do. But in the end, um, it was a really sad ordeal, I guess. And I'm glad it's over. I'm not looking forward to the next hip surgery, but I know it's gonna happen. But I know what to expect now. I'm only saddened that my dad won't be there with me when I have to go back to McGuire to get it done. So in closing, I just want you guys to know that sometimes taking bad news on the chin isn't all it's cracked up to be. But when I posted those things, they were pretty much way after, like, I recently posted them, but they were way after the surgery. I'm well done past the surgery. I just thought I'd post them up so people can see what I look like high, because I don't do drugs. So, I'm afraid of drugs. But, if you got a good laugh off of that, you can be sure to leave a comment. But yeah, I think that my dad probably took it way worse than I did. I mean, it's not one thing. Any soldier can tell you, because in boot camp they told us, some of us aren't going to make it back. They were straight with that shit. It's like, you guys are infantry, and your job, unfortunately as it may be, you may have to kill people. And then the side effect of that, the awful truth and side effect, is that you also can be killed from that. So not every time we go somewhere, we're actually the good guys. In some places, I guess it's really all about a point of view. So in closing, I just want you guys to know, um, the surgery was pretty bad. It worked out very well for me in the end. I can't do kung fu right now, but it saved my life. And so when I wrote the song "We're Dying Every Day," I wrote it because of the surgery that I was having. So if you want to know why, if you want to listen to "Dying Every Day," you can see it here in one of the things. Hopefully, I'll get a lot of likes. And I was exceptionally depressed, like now. But now, I got my 21 followers, so my depression really isn't that bad. My graphic novel is finished. I just gotta find a publisher, and I'm about to start working on my second graphic novel, because these things keep me alive, and the things that keep me alive are the things that I need to do. So I'm James Williams. You can just come for having number 2. I love you guys. Be seeing you, and as soon as I can find the real cursor, not me. Yeah, there it is. That damn arrow thing there. I'll be done. Good night, or good morning.